Chris, I first want to know about how Ahead of the Wave formed, like how it has been born. What
Oh.
what forced you to create Ahead of the Wave?
Yeah, that's a nice story. So I was working as a coach and consultant for executive level. So I had a client. She's the Europe uh, executive for a pharma company, and I was always using AI tools because I was working in a software company before, and I always was connected to this even before GPT. So, and she said, Chris, please stop showing off with all your AI tools and teach them to me. And then maybe you write me an invoice for that. And I was really like, oh my God, that's a really good idea. And then I went into GPT-3 back then and asked the machine, hey, the client said this to me. She asked me if I can teach her, but I'm a bit worried because I'm not a technical guy. I'm a consultant, right? And a coach. So I'm not sure if I can do it. Here's my CV. Here's my LinkedIn profile. And GPT came up with the idea, Chris, I see you're part of a consulting network. Maybe you offer to this network a first workshop. This is a bit of a safe environment for you because you know the people and they are all consultants and they all work for companies. And so I thought again, wow, that's a really good idea. And I created the first workshop. I invited my consulting network and they immediately asked, oh, Chris, that is such a good topic. Can I bring my client? Like from the first invite already. And this workshop filled up 5 times. So I created one workshop and it was paid. So I charged people for that. And 5 times it was full without me doing anything. And I already won a lot of clients from that because all the consultants brought their clients. Then they asked, oh, Chris, my client couldn't make it to the first appointment. Can you do a second? Then I've done a second. Then they said, oh, there was somebody couldn't come to the second. Can you do a third? And this is how it developed. It snowballed then. That's actually how it's still going. We do those open workshops. We invite a lot of people. And then they realize, oh, that's really good what they say. It's unique and special. And I need this for my company.
You say you weren't deep in technical stuff. What was the workshop was about?
The workshop was more about. I don't have a technical profile, right? I'm not a developer. I'm not an AI researcher. So that was my self-doubt that I was thinking, can I do AI trainings? Who am I, right? Imposter syndrome. And the workshop was then very much like still the first workshops we do, the AI empowerment workshops. So it was about understanding how big is it, how fast it comes, some fundamentals, that it's a true revolution. And then I showed people many tools. I showed them ChatGPT, but also many other tools. And just also did a little bit of a workshop character that I asked them, so what does it mean for you? What is very much time consuming for you right now? Let's say this is a magical technology. Which task would you give immediately to this? And they came up with this, and for almost all of them, I knew already back then a tool that can do that. That's how it developed. So it was very, from the first. So actually, this client was was her idea. She's still saying, "Hey, Chris, actually, you owe me shares in the company," and then it was from the beginning also in sparring with AI. I used it from the first moment as co-intelligent. And also the workshop concept, then how to scale the company, how to do it, how to structure my offers, how to grow it, how to do the spin-off company that we just founded, and all this, always with AI.
So we do like one workshop every month for free, and then we do like more than 100 workshops at the Head of the Wave AI. I want you to tell people what our workshops are about. The first one, like the first one they attend.
Yes.
Most people.
So for me, it's very important that we call them AI empowerment, right? So it's not training, it's not education, it's empowerment. I want people that join this workshop. It takes 3 or 4 hours. Depends a little bit. We have different versions. But let's say for 3 hours, and I want them to leave in a transformed way. So I want people to really change their perspective and also after the workshop, their behavior. And what I'm very proud of is we've done this workshop so often now that it's really fine-tuned, and I can now guarantee my clients, look, it's expensive, this workshop, right? We charge a high price for this because it's so good. It does the job. And I can guarantee clients, when you send me 100 people to this workshop, 95 of them will directly after that start using AI. And the other 5 I cannot help. Right? There's always something. There's always somebody who doesn't want to be to move or to change. Yeah. So that is I think the core thing is. Look, it's not so easy. You can, of course, people can read everything about AI. They see a lot of people who join our workshops, they already done some AI training. They had a prompting course, they are certified prompt engineers, but somehow it didn't impact them. So because I'm before that I was a head of sales, I was into neuroscience and communication. I spent a lot of time thinking about how should I tell the story, how should I structure the workshop so that it made people change their behavior. It made them go into AI. So it's not about squeezing as much knowledge in the workshop as possible. It's about emotions, how you structure the ride. So you've been very often there. You know that roughly after half an hour, 45 minutes, people are very afraid. Right? They're really, oh my God, I didn't know that this is so big. Oh my God, I didn't know it's so smart. Oh my God, all the studies that he showed, right? And I ask them, what does it make you feel? I let them talk also about their worries. I tell them, I share them. And then I teach them how this works, why it's different than other technology. And then I teach them how they can use it. So in the beginning, emotions go down, right? They're a bit afraid, a bit worried. Oh my God, what is he saying? Then they understand. And then I tell them what potential is in there for them. So this emotional ride, that makes people change their behavior. It's not the informations, it's how you make them feel in this 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, I'm very proud about that. It's now so fine-tuned that it's like a gold nugget we have there.
So the workshop is more about the mindset shift rather than getting all the technical stuff in it.
Yeah, a little bit. Although, yeah, it's actually true. I don't like the mindset, don't like the word even, because in consulting, they often say, oh, we need to change the mindset of our employees, right? And I'm always, no, you need to change the structure. You need to change the structure of the company. Don't focus on the people too much. People are smart, they will learn, let me do that. But you as a leader, you need to do your job, build the company. Not fiddle around with the people and, the people need to change and all that. That's lazy thinking for a manager. But you're right, the workshop changes the mindset. Maybe different word would be people win a new perspective and knew how they view AI. That's changed. And then they also learn like concrete next steps. How can I start? I tell them all the barriers. Hey, you will feel that. This will happen. Then you should do that. So I give them a little bit of navigation, how you could start doing this. And when people then start, the 95 out of 100, they will immediately experience benefits. Oh my God, this was so quick. Oh my God, it's so smart. Oh, that was so fun, right? So they will continue that.
Yeah. So, but who's the workshop for? So is it for developers or business people, only for entrepreneurs, or who's it for?
This workshop is for everybody. So everybody. We had their children, students, employees, freelancers, developers, lawyers, CEO, people who are already in pension, everybody. And I love this also when we do these open workshops that we do almost every month. Everybody is invited, right? We also give away a lot of free things, and then I love when we have a very diverse group, like freelancers, students, workers, all in one group, and everybody understands, oh, there is something for me in here. So I also believe when you start empowering people with AI, it's a mistake to do specified workshops for developers, for leaders, for something.
Is there a clear next step after the workshop?
Yeah, 10 hours of experimentation with AI. That's what I tell them. So when they are absolute beginners, I tell them now you need 10 hours of creating real world impact with AI. Start talking with it, start asking for solutions for your problems, let it give you ideas, right? So I really tell them you need 10 hours of playing around with it, right? Play around, be a child, and you will realize more or less after 10 hours, oh my God, now I the first time it will make click, you have this eureka moment, and that's so powerful, right? And you will have immediately new ideas. And then, I don't know, after 30 hours, 100, I still have this. Every other week, I still have this moment where I think, oh my God, I have a new thing just made click in my head. I understood a new aspect of this whole thing.
That actually sounds like a true AI empowerment, Chris.
That's the goal, yeah.
But that's what individuals get. Then the question is next, what companies, what organizations get out of ahead of the wave AI? So when they contact you, what will they get?
For organizations, what we sell is AI transformation projects. We are change managers, we are change consultants, and our topic is AI. So we combine this power of delivering really high impact workshops with a systemic approach. How do you change an organization? I learned this back then. I have a training that was very impactful for me in systems theory. That's a very German thing. It's like from Niklas Luhmann. He's a very famous researcher. He created the system theory, and it gives you a totally different approach on how you change organization. It's, all our competitors, they will tell you, hey, we change the mindset of our people. We train your people. We will change your culture into a AI native culture. And we don't do any of this, right? You never hear us saying culture or mindset or whatever. We say we focus on the leadership team, because these are the people who can change the organization. Then with the leadership team, we build in the organization the things you need so that the AI transformation can succeed. So we build an AI team, we build policies, frameworks, all this. So we focus on structure, on real things that you can really actively influence. Culture is nothing that you can influence. Culture is the thing that is following the structure of the company. It's like the shadow of the company. And a lot of our competitors, they work on the shadow, right? And our work, we've done so many workshops, we've done all this prompt engineer certifications, but nothing changed. We focus on the structure because we understand the game that people play in an organization follows specific rules. We need to change the rules so the people will change their behavior.
Mm-hmm. Sounds kind of simple, but at the same time kind of complex and a little theoretical. So maybe you visualize the path for us. So, okay, you say I change, right? You said we change leadership. How is that going? Like, how do you do that?
I make this clear. I give you an example that. So, first step is we make the leadership AI literate. They understand AI. They accept it's a transformation, it's a technological revolution. We need to integrate it. They understand how it works. They start using it themselves. Next step is, hey, let's build a framework for your organization. That is the preparation so that we could do the same for all the people in the organization that we have done for the leadership team. So all the people need to accept this is a revolution. It's a new foundational technology. We need to use it. There's no choice. It will appear everywhere. WhatsApp has an AI now. Nobody asked me if I want this. It is there, right? Everybody uses it. So the world is changing. You need to adapt. Next step, they need to understand. Next step is they need to integrate. So they need to have a model and need to use it. So leadership, then we build structures, policies, communication, empowerment plans. We create an AI team. We make sure that data security, policies, ethics, all is there. So when we then start doing empowerment with the whole organization, I can tell people, say you are an employee in an organization, I can not only teach you AI, but I can tell you, and in your organizations, the rules are now, you can do this and that with these two models, but you can not do this kind of task due to whatever reason, data security, whatever, right? It depends. It's very different from organization to organization. And this clarity that we bring then to the employees, that they know what can I use, how can I use it, what is not allowed, this clarity gives them enough safety that they can start using it in a responsible way. And that helps a lot, because otherwise people are afraid. right? If this is not clear and you do a perfect empowerment workshop, but people sit in an organization and they have a document and, oh, I'm not sure if I can upload this there, right? How was that with the data security? So the model is training from my data, but what does it mean? I don't know how to apply this to my situation. So we solve this before we do the workshops for the people. And this whole thing makes us very unique in our competitive landscape.
That's what I wanted to ask. You say they need a model. We choose a model together. So what our competitors does, and so this might be confusing for people. Does it mean like you do like your competitors? You fine tune a model and you spend thousands of euros on it?
Not at all. All our clients win a lot of efficiency. They win time. They make more money. They spend less money on agencies, on work. All this happens, and we tell them, don't develop something. Don't create your own GPT, right? Please relax. Here is a very clear framework, very clear rules. Buy a frontier model, $20, euros, whatever per person. Everybody gets the 20 euros out of it in one day, right? And then see the magic happening. Once you have this, you create a company that uses this model. Give them 2 months, 3 months of time playing around with this. And then your people will come and tell you, hey, CEO, here in the marketing team, we learned so much using ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. We have now a really good idea what other kind of tools we would need to really transform the way we work, to achieve some new things. And my clients do super cool stuff with that. So, for example, they realize, one of my very first clients, they are a construction company. They build a booth for trade shows, right? So Mercedes, Audi, very big companies. You go in a trade show, they have this big shows there, right? A big booth, sometimes 2 floors, it costs many millions, such booth. And they built this for big companies, and they realized, oh, web development is now super easy with AI. So we will add to our services for every client a digital booth on top. We will generate a model for them that knows about their products and their company. And if people at the trade show, they are interested, they can scan a QR code and then talk with the model if somebody is not available, right? You get the digital booth on top without any additional price. So imagine you are a competitor of those guys, right? And you see, oh yeah, how do they do that? They now offer this digital thing. They don't have web developers. I know, they only have 2. Right? I also have only 1. How do they do this? For every client, they get this booth. The one client who always bought with me the booth just told me he goes now to my competitor because he gets a digital booth on top for no extra costs. This is how it changes in just one frontier model. Right? This is how just one frontier model for a company that's building stuff. So it's not even digital. They don't work on laptops, half of the people. But it can already for them change the offer, and they can differentiate against competitors with that. Another company also loved this, a big pharma company from Germany. Oh, actually from Israel, so Teva Ratio Pharma. It's one of the biggest pharma companies in the world. They said, hey, maybe it's a good idea that we create the following rule. Whenever somebody wants to hire a new person here, the team has first to try and experiment to solve the same issue with AI tools. They have to document this. And only if they see, okay, there is no way AI can do this job, they are allowed to hire somebody.
Such a nice idea.
What happens is that like 50% of the time they realize, oh no, that's actually a tool, right? We don't need to hire a new person, that's a tool. And the other 50% of the time they change the description who they need. Right, so it already has concrete impact on who they hire, and they just save pure money because people are very expensive, right? And I love this. So what I love is we don't have the best ideas for our clients. We help them create those ideas for themselves. We create people, an environment where all those ideas appear, right? And then we help them see these ideas. That's why we build communities. We have framework and workshops and ideas. Okay, you are a company of 25,000 people. How will you notice all the good ideas? That's a real problem. We have with that, but we don't create the ideas. And many of our competitors do that. They come in and say, we build your automations. We find the best use cases for you, right?
Or this is our framework. We're going to adapt it.
Exactly. This is how we build it. We can build your chatbot, your model, your whatever. We create your own large language model. And this costs a lot of time, takes a lot of time, a lot of money and takes a lot of time. And it delivers by far worse results than what we do. And I love what we do so much because we believe in humans. That is a core belief I have is if you place people in a really good environment and you empower them with AI and you let them play with it, they will create the best ideas you can imagine because those people know the context they work in, right? You have some random lady working in accounting since 15 years. You empower her with AI, you give her a frontier model, she plays around with it, and after a couple of weeks, she has transformed her work, and she has a list of ideas, what she can change, what does it mean for her, for the company. She has new service ideas, all that. I love this so much that we are very humble. We say we focus on the organization, on the rules, on the structure, right? And then the ideas, the innovation will come out of that. And I believe companies need that. I believe, to be very frank, this is the last chance for companies to transform themselves into something, into an organization that is able to see what's going outside the world, integrate it, and adapt it for themselves and innovate on it.
What do you mean last chance?
I mean by last chance that the next years will be so disruptive that if you don't change your company, you are still following the old model. The managers have ideas, they bring in consultants with other ideas. A small group of elite people try to solve for the whole company of 25,000 people which AI tool should who use when in which situations. Like, that's so stupid because AI is so fast that I mean we do nothing else and we cannot keep up. Right? So you need every brain in your organization to think about it. Every brain, every person needs to be AI literate and needs to have enough freedom and responsibility to create ideas and solutions for you, and not some centralized ideas. So I'm really against a centralized, hey, we created, I hear this so often, Chris, we are already really good in AI. We created I had this conversation recently. I will not name the company, a big company from, I won't say, a big company from Germany, a very famous big company from Germany. They were very proud and they said, Chris, we already pretty far in this whole AI thing. We have an AI task force since 1 year. It's a group from different departments, right? And it's really developing well. And I asked them, so what did you do in 1 year? And they said, we have now very clear processes. If we find a use case, who will evaluate it and how we would then build it. And I asked, so how many use cases did you build? 0. That's so weird, right? We even have a name for that. We call this, a client once came, many clients have this story, and he called it use case deadlock.
Use case deadlock.
Yeah, you heard this often. Huh? I really love this because the use case deadlock means you try to solve this AI revolution with a classical management tools. So you try to, I give it to IT and or I build a group of different departments, and let's say you had the group, right? Hey, David, you are now the leader of the AI task force here. Please find the best use cases in our company where we can use AI to really save money. And then you go and you see, okay, here I have a really painful process, our sales forecast or our logistics, right? They're really painful. We need to improve this. So this is a good use case for AI. Then you go and you try to research the market. That's the usual way. Companies always bought software. So you do scouting, right? You do research in the market. You find 10 different tools who maybe can solve this. You look at all those tools and you see, oh, those are good, those are bad. You have 3 then, after a couple of weeks, 3 that are really good. You test all 3 of them. You decide one is then the winner. Let's integrate it. And then you look out of the window and you see, oh shit, the AI world developed so much that I can start from scratch. The rules have changed. I started, there was GPT 3.5. I now decided one tool, now we had GPT 03 and everything changed. What I wanted to buy or develop as a tool is now a feature in ChatGPT. Okay, let's start again. So what use case? Let's research tool, let's evaluate, let's test, let's choose one partner. Oh shit, the world again developed. So this process of a small team tries to solve it for the whole company. And that is how companies usually worked until now. Doesn't work anymore. The world is too fast, too complex. AI develops by week. So you need a different framework, and that is what makes it so difficult for companies, because an organization is hierarchical and they think in these terms. Management thinks and solves and creates strategies. People below the management, they act, they do. And we come in, we are pretty uncomfortable, right? We are very annoying to our clients, and we tell them, look, you have to give responsibilities to everybody. You need to give all the people down to the lowest level the chance to come up with ideas, solutions, and use cases. That was a very long answer to your question.
Yeah. I mean, but that was a pretty good one, actually. Pretty good one. I remember that one of our late night talks, you said it's like playing with all the rules in a new game, in a new world. Yeah.
Yes. A lot of this management thinking it's interesting. It comes from the Industrial Revolution, actually. And there it made sense, because we didn't have developed markets. So there was one car manufacturing company, Ford. Then 8 years later there was a second one, Mercedes. Then 8 years later there was a third one, right? So it was very slow. You could manage it in this way, that a small group of people can manage it. Your competitors were just around you in the region. Now you have global competitors. Now the world is changing significantly. I mean, look in what time we live, right? Just the last years. It feels like 20 years, because there were so many changes, so many things happened, so many disruptions, that you need to create a company that is organic, I love to say. Also you see it that it's from the industrial age, that we use language that comes from there. We say we have pressure in the company, we have mechanics, this engine needs to run, right? We use all those mechanical words to describe an organization. And what I always imagine, I rarely say this to clients, but what I always imagine is you need to switch from this mechanical view of your company to an organic view. So instead of having this pyramid, right, at the top you do the thinking, at the bottom you do the work, which is super slow and does not work in this world anymore. You need to make kind of a circle, like a living cell, and everybody in this cell who sits outside at the edge, who's in contact with the market, can also create use cases, do stuff, build solutions. So the responsibility moves from the top of the organization to the edges of the organization.
Chris, you got from AI transformation to management transformation. Is it just you, or AI transformation and management transformation are actually so deeply connected with one another?
Yes, it is. It's deeply connected, because you're probably too young for that, but in the last 10, 15 years, or 20 even, a big trend in companies was lean management, agile development, integrating Scrum into your work, right? All those ideas. How can we survive in a world that is volatile, uncertain, complex, right? And ambiguous. The VUCA world, we said. 15 years we said this. I was very deep into this whole work. You need to start becoming adaptive and agile. And for me now, this all was just practice. That was all just training for what world we live now in. So this agile, scrum, lean management. That was just the training run to prepare yourself for a world where changes happen now by week.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a transformation of management, of how you view your company.
Yeah, but now it might be scary for executives. They say, maybe this is like too much. We're not so focused on AI transformation to get up to management transformation. So, Chris, this is sounds good, but this is too scary for us. They might think so.
Yeah, I hear that often. Look, we don't win every client, right? But I tell them, you don't have a choice. Be more afraid if you don't do that. Imagine, so you are this CEO saying, hey Chris, this is too much, I just wanted to have some AI automations.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me I need to change the whole way I run my organization, right? And I tell them, yeah, I understand, it's difficult. I'm not hiding this. It's a difficult transformation of your organization. We can do it step by step, right? You don't have to do it all at once. It's a long process. And I tell them, imagine your competitor does that. Imagine your competitor starts working with us, and imagine he's going all in, and he's going through the pain, and he's losing people and maybe even revenue in the first time, right? And he's all in into transforming his company so that the people who do the work, the people who talk with the client, the people who build the product, they can also think and innovate and build solutions with AI. How do you feel if that's your competitor? Who would win? Right? And even then, a lot of them then say, okay, let's start somehow, right? We make it easy for clients because we say, let's start with the smallest step. We train your leadership team. And then you can decide, should we build a framework for your organization? Then you can decide, should we help you train the people? So what we do are the project with our companies, because it's also big companies we work with, right? These are big projects, but we are very happy. I'm very safe in what we do. I'm very sure that it works. So I have no problem to cut it into small pieces.
Yeah, they feel confident.
Yes, I'm confident, and make it easy for the client to understand, because you're right. When I say it like that, it sounds very scary, and it sounds like, oh my God, I'm already overwhelmed in my day-to-day life with my day-to-day problems, and you tell me now on top I need to change everything.
Yeah, you say maybe maybe losing revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So is working with the head of the wave AI too big of an investment, or going through AI transformation too big of an investment?
So the losing revenue part is connected that some clients realize that they have business models that will not work any longer in this world. A lot of agencies have that. A lot of creative agencies, law firms, consulting agencies. One example, they realize it doesn't make sense anymore to charge my client by hour, because if I charge them, that's the usual way, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm an creative agency, I do your next advertisement campaign, right? I will charge you the amount of hours my team works. If you then ask me, hey, do you use AI? And I say, yes, I do. Then you as a client will ask, so you need only 1/10 of the time, right? So I only pay 1/10 of the thing. So, and we have some clients where we push them to be proactive about that and to approach their clients and say, hey, dear client, this offer is now different because we use AI tools. The price is a little bit lower, right? But we will deliver in half the time. And so you have win-win, lower price, half the time, amazing, right? But for me internally, for our clients, the work is just 1/10 of before. We just talked the other day that we have now advertisements that run at the Super Bowl, right? And the production of them costs €4,000, and they're really good advertisements. We have fully AI-generated advertisement. Instead of an investment of millions in months to create, it's thousands in a week. So, and imagine you are a creative agency. You need to adapt to this, right? So you need really hard to think, how do I restructure my business? How do I come up with new services. If my client can do so many things himself, what can I add? What kind of value? And I'm really sure there is. You are an expert in advertisement. You have decades of experience. You have a whole company focusing. Of course, there's value you can add. So, and that's what sometimes happen. Law firms, consulting firm, creative agency, they have a little bit of a dip, also due to the market, right? And then they come up with new products. Hey, instead of I create the digital advertising for you, dear client, I help you by creating training models for you so that your team can create their own digital advertisements, right? And I make sure with my competence that those models create on brand, the way you like it, the things we learned work for you. I have even one client, a big creative agency, they built a platform for the client. An online platform where the client can say, I need a billboard, click, and it creates 10 billboards. And then he says this, this, and this. And then he sends it to the agency and said, hey, I created those billboards. What do you think? They add a little bit. They might change some details because they are experts in that, right? The process is much leaner, much faster. And they charged even more because, hey, we built a platform. You are empowered after that, right? So that is how deep this transformation goes. For some companies, especially agencies, it's like you have to reinvent it.
Sounds really, really interesting, but again, too complex. Do you have like some light version of it? So any AI transformation without that complex?
Yes. So we have also clients that don't have the budget, right, or that want to start small. So a thing you cannot avoid is we need to train the leadership team.
Mm-hmm.
That's the smallest thing a client can buy with us.
That's the basic.
That's like the basic, and that is also the smallest package you could buy.
Mm-hmm.
AI executive empowerment. So we empower your leadership to understand it, to accept it, to use it. They will win and gain and become more efficient, will make smarter decisions.
Maybe tell a little bit more about it without spoiling some details, but a little bit more what's included in there.
So it's usually a little bit of preparation before the workshop that we make sure that this client. So we just started with a client from Austria. It's an industry client. They are part of a big group. The headquarters in Italy, right? So they buying this small package. I just want to empower my leadership team first. But Chris, I don't know if I can buy a license because those kind of decisions the headquarter in Italy makes, and they are far away from the topic. So what we also deliver as a first step, we help you with that. Let us talk with them. Right? And if it needs maybe we do need a small workshop also for the leadership team in Italy, then I do this without any extra charge, right? My mission is, hey, you pay the empowerment of your leadership team. You need a frontier model for that. You need it. So I help you with my team to get it. And if we need to talk with the headquarter, with whoever, we do that.
And the headquarter is still using Opera browser?
You just talk me every week. You tell me when you do trainings with leaders and one-on-one coachings, and how shocked you are.
Yeah.
Remember last time you were shocked that people very high up, company leader uses the Edge browser.
Yeah.
You were shocked once. I remember also when a leader of a dev team was not working in dark mode. Yeah. You couldn't believe it. You were thinking this is fake.
Yeah, I thought he's not a developer. So,
yeah,
but that's not a topic.
Yeah.
So let's.
But so yeah, it's far. It's the smallest thing, and this is already a thing that delivers value because the leaders in your company are the most expensive people you have. Why not empower them with a 20 euro tool to become even more efficient, even smarter, right? That's just the biggest lever you have. And then you have also people, all my leaders have the same impactful perspective on AI. They all have a frontier model. They all understand how it works, and they all start using it to become more efficient. This is already a big transformation. And then I'm so certain to chunk it down into this small piece because every client so far asked afterwards for more. Some of them still have they are already in a challenged position, right? They already see our market goes down. We are in a difficult situation. So with some of them, we want to help them. So some of them don't have the money that we do all the workshop. Then I tell them, look, give me a junior, right? Give me a junior person, and we empower this person. We give them, here's a policy, here's an intention letter, and we guide them. We give them assignments, right? And give them concrete tasks they have to do internally. We don't do them, they do them. And we empower one person that is directly reporting to the management team.
Sounds a little ironic. You empower junior people so they can empower senior people.
Yeah, that's what works the best. So this is all about budget, right? It's all about, for the companies that don't have the budget. I mean, you know this from your day-to-day work, but empowering a young person with AI is most often much faster, much easier than empowering a leader. It's also due to time, right? We need this person's many hours. We invite them to workshops, right? Come and listen to this workshop. Come even listen to it 3 times, so that you really integrate this knowledge into you, and maybe you are even able to run your own workshops in half a year internally, so that they can from within carry this transformation and do it. I'm very happy to do this kind of offers for client, as long as they start doing it. Every company is different. Every company has its own solution. So we have a theoretical framework. It's many people think, oh, I would rather have a practical framework, right? But that's stupid thinking. It needs to be theoretical, because then I can adapt the theory to every use case, to every situation. And some situations are, we have no budget, we suffer, we already need to fire people because we need to save money, but we need to do AI to survive. So we find a solution for them.
I'd like to think of it a flexible framework.
Yeah, it's a flexible. Theories are flexible. Math is a theory that you can apply to everything. So that's why kind of in our society, theories have a bad reputation.
Yeah.
But they're actually the most powerful thinking tools we have, because they are, you can test them, you can apply them, you can create hypotheses, you can extend them. It's perfect.
AI is a theory.
Yeah, perfect. It's an AI transformation theory.
So, how long does it take, this leadership empowerment?
The minimum is 6 hours.
2
hours preparation, 4 hours workshop. That's the minimum.
And then you said after that, in most of the cases, clients will ask for more. So what is there? Like, what?
I mean, usually after this, they understood what AI is, how big it is, that they cannot avoid it. So they are, okay, shit, we need to do this, right? We realize now we have no choice. Oh, it's difficult because our situation is so and so. So they ask for what is the next step. We are now a leadership team of 20 person, but we have 2,000 more employees. How do we do that? And that's our job at Ahead of the Wave, that we think for solutions. We think about solutions for them. And you know, we do many different things. For some, we build platforms where they can do self-training.
I ask for the listener.
Yeah, yeah. For others, we build communities. We do workshops ourselves. We do very big workshops, sometimes very small. Sometimes we just have the capacity to do this with one small team. Then we do this, right? As long as you start. And companies change slowly, so you need to start now.
Chris, 2 questions. I ask them now, and then you answer part by part, okay? So, first question, tell me more about what is AI team, well, internal AI team, or it is from outside the company, or I know it is internal, but like how do you gather this team together? And tell me about this new thing that we get so many good feedback on it, the community thing, right? So tell us about it.
So this is all about what I said in the beginning. We focus on building structures, right? I don't care about culture, mindset, whatever. I want to build an AI team. And that's very easy. Companies are working like that. You have a CFO, he's responsible for the finances. You have a CTO, he's responsible for the tech. You have a COO, he's responsible for operations. You have a CMO, he's responsible for marketing. Now you need a CAO, he's responsible for AI. Or she is responsible. You need to make this topic as important as the others. And creating a formal structure, a formal responsibility around that is just the way that companies work. They think that way, you could say. If there is not this kind of formal structure, it is always only a side topic, and people will do everything else before that, and when they then have time, they do AI. So that's why we kind of force our clients, right, to name at least one person from your leadership team. If I can choose, it's the CEO. He's now also the person who's responsible for the AI integration, and he can get maybe help because leaders don't have time, so choose some other person from different departments. But how then exactly the team is structured, how it works, doesn't matter so much. At least as there is one person from the leadership team who gives the formal power to this, all is good. And then we work with this team then mainly, right? So we don't need to talk with the leadership all the time, but just this AI team. And your other question?
Now about communities.
The community, yeah. You are CEO of a company of 8,000 people. You've done the whole journey with us. All 8,000 have a Gemini account. They start using AI. You hear many positive things, and you see they save time and all this. And how will you notice the really game-changing ideas they have? That's a real issue. How will you notice, right? There is no channel from somebody who's working in an office in a different country, in the marketing team, who might have a game-changing idea how you can rethink your marketing.
Maybe they report to a manager.
Yeah, they report to manager, he reports to the director, he reports to the VP, and half a year later you might get the idea.
Yeah.
Right? So that is the problem. And how we can solve it is we just build communities. That sounds very big, but it's actually just a place where all the AI enthusiasts can go and write down their idea. And we create also an incentive structure. So this guy in this office in another country who's working in marketing, what will he benefit? How will he benefit from the fact that he writes down his idea in this community? We need to answer this question, right? Why should he do that if he doesn't have anything from that? So at least he needs like awareness, recognition, his reputation, maybe it boosts his career, right? At least that. Many clients do financial incentives. If you, David, have a great idea in my company and we really build it and we scale it because it's so great that now everybody does it the David way, right? We give you 8,000 on your next paycheck on top. This kind of incentives. It's for a company, it's small money if you like increase some efficiencies by a few percents. And for you, it's like a big boost, right? Oh, that's twice my salary, right? So next month I get a triple salary. And we know this since long time, right? A lot of famous companies like Toyota, VW has that, Volkswagen, they have this. If you are an engineer and you solve something that can be built more efficient or more reliable, you get a percentage of what it saves the company, which is usually hundreds, thousands, or millions. So everybody is super engaged to finding solutions, right? And if you create this kind of environment where everybody of your employees know they will love it if I find solutions, I know I will benefit from it. And today the easiest way is build an online community, build a Teams channel, or use Microsoft Viva Engage. Nobody knows that, but it's a part of your office suite. You all have this, you all pay for this. It's in there in office and it's built to create communities. So zero costs to buy something. You just create it there, and from your 8,000 people, 800 AI enthusiasts will start communicating with each other and sharing ideas. And you as the CEO, that was the problem, right? How do you notice the ideas? You have sensors towards your company. You just open the community, right? And you see, hey, what is the idea that was upvoted the most, like in Reddit? You say, oh, that's a really good idea.
Then what I do? I see that's a good idea, then what do I do?
Then the next problem comes, how do I scale this?
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's then the easy problem. So that's a lovely issue to have. right? It's a lovely problem. You read a really genius idea that will increase your output, and your question is, how do I scale it? Wonderful issue. Everybody wants to have that. So this problem is easy.
Okay, maybe you suggest an idea how to do it, or how do you usually do it without spoiling the secret?
So usually people have companies have the capacity to do this already. Some have even innovation teams. We create just projects. So hey, okay, this is David has this great idea how we can improve our forecasts, and so we save money because we are not ordering too much material, right? So David had this great idea. Let's create a project team. Give David a really good project manager, and other people, also those with formal power. And this project team has the task: please develop David's idea into a solution that we can scale towards the whole company. That's how easy it is. That is really look. If your company is not able to do that, you have a much bigger problem. If your company is not able, you have a great idea that saves money, brings you more money, but you're not able to use it. Not sure if I can help you.
So all this without a huge project or tool implementation. All these thanks to €20 subscription to AI chatbot.
Yes. So maybe if you choose an enterprise version or a version built for companies, is €30. Sometimes it's 33. If you want a really secure version, there are providers like Langdog or some others who gives you access to frontier models, but in a safe environment, all GDPR rules, ISO certified, all the cybersecurity things checked. And maybe you pay €37.
But there is no hidden cost of a tool implementation or a big project implementation.
No, you have the costs. You have the cost to train your people. You have the cost to invest time. You need to pay us, right, that we guide you through this. But that's it. So far, we have many clients who build their own solutions. We have our GPT now. And only one client built a solution that is actually good. And they did it in a very small, like this topic, and they're only for this kind of question. It's like a library, so you can ask, hey, what do you think? And it gives you answers, and it shows you where the sources of the answers. So it's like a Perplexity style search engine for one part of the company. Works really good, really nice. They invested 1 year of work in it, a lot of money. And all the other companies and we have plenty of them who created their own model, their own, we fine-tuned Llama for our usage, right? Or we built our company GPT or something. It's always embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's really embarrassing. It's like, I remember this one incident where I had also, didn't win the client, was a very uncomfortable meeting. They were also, we are much further in this all AI journey, so I'm not sure if we should start here, what you say, but maybe you help us already with the development, because we built our company GPT, we released it 3 months ago, and it's really great. We invested 7 million in it, and they talked a lot about the technical infrastructure, and then I asked them, can you show me how many people accessed it this month? And then it was a little bit silent. Yeah, sure, I think so. Let's see, let's check. And then a little bit clicking, and the head of IT shared his screen, opened it, and we could all see 8 people. Last month, 8 people used it. It was a very big company in Europe, and 8 people. What is the reason? You didn't train them. You didn't empower them. You didn't show them the clear framework, right? What is good to do, what not. And the ones who are into AI, they use the original.
This tells a lot. So on the streets, we have to walk careful and be cautious, because there is I don't want to be rude, but a bunch of companies in that tell European they hype this. They tell European companies that, don't use ChatGPT.
Yes.
It's not GDPR compliant.
Yes.
And hey, we have this. We can develop and fine tune for you a model.
Yes.
This costs, I don't know, 120,000 euros.
Yes, at least, yes.
Yeah,
and
at least.
It will take 3 months, and then you will have your own solution, very safe, trained with your company data. Never works.
And we will deliver it to you. We will not come. We'll deliver it to you.
Never works. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Every client also realizes structuring my data in a way that an AI can be trained with it. It's a huge effort. It's huge. You need to go into everywhere, add metadata everywhere. Realize that your data is made for humans, not for machines. You need to prepare so much before you can even start to train it. So we have so many cases where we succeeded in persuading the client to not do that, and instead go with, hey, use ChatGPT, build some custom GPTs in there, and you will have so much efficiency wins that you don't need to buy that. I think sometimes that's a fundamental way of thinking about it that comes from a time that's not longer applicable to this world. I think it's also this engineer. We build something that is then built for us, and I mean those frontier model organizations, they invest billions of dollars. So much money that goes into that. It's such a huge ecosystem, and we have only 5 frontier models or 6, and then a lot of really good models, but that are not frontier models. All of those are super expensive. Why do you think you, as a company, actually in a different business model, can compete with those? It's just naive thinking. So I want to mention something, because we haven't talked about this. This is Secret Cyborgs. Secret Cyborgs is, Ethan Mollick came up with this phrase. If you don't know it, follow Ethan Mollick. And Secret Cyborgs is, those are, so AI is in the world. You have a company of 10,000 people, 16% use it already, whether you want or not. They just use it. And yeah, Chris, no problem, we have blocked it, right? And they just take out their phones and make a picture of the most sensitive data you have and ask, hey, ChatGPT, what kind of super smart mail can I write to my CEO that he sees how intelligent I am? Right? Without any training, without any knowledge of how you can use it responsible, so you cannot avoid it. You need to release it and train people how to use it, because they use it anyway. I was a couple of months ago at the University of Vienna, big famous old university, beautiful building, from a beautiful old building, looked like a antique temple, really nice, and it was a very tough meeting. A leadership team from the university, and actually they realized, so they told me, our students use a dozen different AI tools, and once I understood, they use this 11 tools today, right? Next week they say, now it changed, now we use those 13 tools, and from last week we only use those tools, right? So the pace and the speed that they see with the students is super high, right? I mean, imagine in a university, nobody takes notes anymore. Everybody uses AI to cheat, to write, to learn if they are smart. And those people enter the workforce. And you run a company and you tell them, no, ChatGPT is forbidden here. Right?
Like it's a taboo.
Yeah. It's as if you would say, no, we don't believe in electricity. Do you know how dangerous that is? People can die, right? So we don't do this due to safety reasons. That's the same approach. So Secret Cyborgs is the name for, you have people using AI in your company, whether you want or not.